Hey, welcome to Political Vigilante, another fantastic green room interview.
Yay!
With recurring guest, Ron Placone.
Howdy, howdy, everybody. In the green room, getting ready for a live Jimmy Dore show, the first of 2018.
Yeah. This is the first live one of 2018?
The first live one of 2018.
Oh,
yeah. Kicking off the year.
It's so cool. So I'll do what I did last time. I'll get some interviews with fans in the waiting after the show. That was pretty cool to hear what they had to say. But I want to talk about you know, the latest school shooting and the gun issue. What is anything going to change, or are we just back to thoughts and
keeping
prayers?
Keeping it light for some pre-comedy.
Very light, easy thing.
You know what? People are finally coming around to the whole like.
Well, I need some sugar.
Laura Hayden, everybody.
Laura Hayden.
Come on now.
Oh, yay.
She's gonna be on the FNX Comedy Experience.
Excellent. Yay.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
So what do you like? I don't see anything changing. I saw that clip of that one girl on CNN. She's like 16. She was there, and she just goes, "I don't know how anyone can say this isn't a gun issue."
Right. Yeah. Which, I mean, of course it is. Like,
how could it not be?
Like, of course, how could it not be at this point? How is this not like, well, gee, you know, I mean, there's that Onion headline where they just say, like, there's no way we can prevent this as only nation where this is a problem.
Right.
I mean, and they'll retweet that every time there's another shooting. The Onion does. So they've been retweeting it literally pretty much every other day.
There's
since
20
the start of the year.
28 shootings. It's February.
Yeah,
like it's the middle of February. We're 6 weeks into this year. So we're having 3 a week?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
4 a
much.
week?
Like,
What's one of them?
January was pretty much like every other day. And then I guess it like slowed down a little bit, and then now it's like, oh, 3 a week.
The thing I've said, I'm just like, we need to take everybody's guns away, and if the legal gun owners are like, hey, you're violating my Second Amendment rights, you know, thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers for their guns being taken away.
I mean, realistically, that'll never happen. What I would love to see that I feel like might be a little more like maybe that's possible is like doing something like what Switzerland does, where ammunition is very heavily regulated, where you have to go to certain places to get ammunition. If you do own a gun, you have to be trained properly. And I think the whole process, first of all, should be federal. Second of all, should be way more freaking extensive. You should have to complete a basic exam. You should complete a mental health evaluation. You should have reference letters. Like they should get references from family and friends.
You mean like it does to become a cop or a soldier?
Yeah, but and even more extensive, because that also needs to be way more freaking extensive.
Yes.
So, you know, I mean...
That needs more regulation, and it's still tougher for a cop to get access to a gun than a regular citizen can just go on the internet and buy them.
Oh, yeah, and that stuff needs to be outlawed. I mean, the selling at shows, that needs to go away. And magazines, the things you can buy, that needs to go away completely. Semi-automatics. It's like there's no...
The thing I must say that I believe you could get rid of them the way Australia did. They had a mass shooting in Tasmania in the early 90s, and the whole country went, that's it, we want them out. And the reason why it wasn't prevented, there's no NRA there. Or that type of organization. There's no massive gun lobby.
Right.
So they get a buyback program. You got to get rid of your big guns. There's you can have one if you live out in the outback, and like there's hunting and very, very restricted, regulated type of guns that you can own. But they got the majority of them off the streets.
Yeah.
And here's the crazy thing: when they did it, shootings went down, violence went down. Here's another weird thing: suicides went down.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so nuts. When you get rid of all of the weapons, it's doable. So when they tell you it's not doable, they're lying.
No, I'm with you. I mean, and that sounds, you know, it sounds similar to like even like a Switzerland stuff. Yeah, like you just have very. I mean, I'm all about ammunition too.
That's a great. I hadn't thought about that. But
the different types of weapons, I'm for that as well. You know, like only certain things for hunting and stuff, like you said. Like I'm all about that. But I'm also all about like ammunition as well. So I guess.
Well, that's part of it too. Is like it's always the same. It's like a young male typically, history of mental illness, easy access to guns and ammunition. It's almost always that same thing, and it's like, and there's these heroes that come out of it. The coach that took fire to save students. I mean, that's amazing. But is that really like? Do we need like? Can we could that guy could still be alive? Like everyone could still be alive. We don't need martyrs and heroes because the gun lobby makes billions of dollars doing this.
Yeah, your death won't be in vain. We're gonna make sure that we preserve the rights of people so that this can happen again.
It will happen again.
What? Really? Okay.
Like, what is it gonna take? Like, if gun violence hasn't affected you personally in America, it will.
No, yeah. I mean,
I'm sorry. It will.
And you hit the nail on the head with the NRA. I mean, they are such a powerful lobbying. I mean, I used to live in Nashville where they would have their rally every year. And it's just unbelievable the pull this organization has.
Oh, God.
I mean, if their cause was something like single-payer healthcare, we'd have it tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, tomorrow.
But unfortunately, their cause
They've bought
guns.
fucking ads on this show. They've run ads in front of this show.
Oh, yeah.
And I've blocked them. I've checked everything. No guns, no nothing. And the NRA gets ads.
Mm-hmm.
And they interview these fucking hillbilly crackers at some gun show saying, we got guns. You're a pussy if you own a gun. I'm looking right into your face. You're a pussy.
I'm talking to you,
I'm talking to you. You're a fucking coward. If you own a gun, you're weak. What's it like being weak and needing a gun? I don't know. I don't own a gun. I'm not a pussy.
You know what's crazy, Graham? I own a gun.
You pussy.
Well, no, let me explain. It's the only thing my grandfather left to me. So I've never even seen it, but it's in my parents' attic, and technically it's mine.
That's not, you know what I'm...
It's this random gun. That's what he left me. So, yeah.
If you're like a okay, I can see,
I don't know what that makes me, but it is... It has my name on it. It has, like... It says Ron in crayon. It was...
That's so great. I just called all gun owners pussies, and you're sitting right next to me.
Technically,
I called you a pussy.
It's the weirdest.
You know what I mean. Like, if you're like gun, I own guns, you go to a shooting range, do you do that on a regular rate?
No, I'm told you, I don't even know what mine looks like.
See,
like, I don't know.
All right.
It was left to me.
The
by
guys
my
that think
so when he died, it's in my parents' attic. And they're like, yeah, there's a gun Grandpa left for you. I was like, all right, well, I mean, so what happens next? And they're like, well, I guess it'll just stay in the attic unless you want it. And I was like, well,
I think you should arm yourself. Against people like me.
I gotta start a road trip from Pennsylvania to California, like, I'm bringing my gun home.
I'm sorry, but the whole, like, the gun for protection thing, I don't get it. Gun owners it's only in America where we think this gun is going to make you immortal.
Yeah, I mean, dude, and mine's 3,000 miles away. So, I mean, if there was ever an intruder, I'd be like, all right, hold on, I'm going to hop on a plane, and then I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to learn how to use this thing.
I'm holding this with my hand. That's why the phone's shaking. This is the lowest tech I've ever... All right, well, I went on enough of a rant, I guess. I appreciate your thoughtful insight, Ron. Thank you for being on the show. Every time there's a mass shooting, I get mad. And you should too.
Yeah.
If you live in this country,
Absolutely.
you should too, because if you don't know anyone that's been a victim of random gun violence, you're going to. So, thanks for watching the show.